Imagine waking up one day to find yourself in an entirely different world, and when you look in the mirror, you see a face that is not your own. This was the startling reality for Carolina Olson, a Swedish villager, who on April 3, 1908 awoke to a world she barely recognized. The faces of her family were unfamiliar, her home seemed alien, and the reflection in the mirror was that of a stranger. This is a story that begins in confusion, steeped in mystery, and ends with an awakening that defies comprehension. The circumstances surrounding Carolina's predicament were as varied as they were bizarre. Some whispered that she'd taken a tumble on the frozen river on her way home, cracking her skull on the unforgiving ice. Others claimed she had nearly drowned, saved only in the nick of time. Yet others believed she had simply tripped and injured her jaw, resulting in a toothache that seemed to be the only tangible evidence of her accident. Amidst these speculations, Carolina's parents, simple fisherfolk, held firm to their belief. In the isolated Swedish village of Okno where they lived, superstition was as common as the cold. Carolina's parents were convinced that witchcraft was at play, that their daughter was the victim of a malignant force beyond their understanding. The village lacked proper medical facilities, leaving Carolina's parents with little choice but to hope for a miracle. And so, Carolina, with a throbbing head and an aching tooth, was tucked into bed, her parents praying that sleep would bring the relief that medicine could not. And sleep she did. When she awoke, the pain was gone, but so was the world she knew. Her mother and two of her siblings had passed away, and she found herself surrounded by strangers who claimed to be her family. The little girl who had gone to sleep was replaced by a woman of 46, her youth lost in the abyss of an inexplicable slumber. In the end, Carolina returned home with a head injury and a strong toothache. She went to sleep hoping the pain would disappear, and it did, but with it vanished the world she knew. Carolina's sleep was not like any other. It lasted for almost 19 years. A slumber so profound it baffles the mind. Throughout these extensive years, Carolina's father brought in a multitude of doctors, each attempting to unravel the enigma of her sleep. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months, and months into years, all while Carolina remained in the grip of her mysterious slumber. The physicians were bewildered, their efforts to wake her up proving futile. They tried everything, from the conventional to the extreme. They pricked her with needles, hoping the discomfort would stir her awake. They even resorted to electrifying her, a desperate attempt to shock her back into consciousness. But Carolina, it seemed, was locked away in a world of her own, impervious to their efforts. As 14 years passed with Carolina still asleep, she was moved to a hospital. There she spent a month under the watchful eyes of baffled medical professionals. But once again, their attempts bore no fruit. Carolina seemed to be trapped in her sleep, a prisoner of her own mind. After the hospital's unsuccessful attempts, Carolina was returned home. She continued her sleep under the care of a hired maid after her mother's death in 1905. The maid fed her 2 glasses of milk every day, which Carolina swallowed normally, an oddity given her unconscious state. But perhaps the most mysterious aspect of Carolina's long sleep were the actions she performed without waking. She would sometimes be seen praying or walking, activities that suggested a level of awareness. When her mother and brothers passed away, she even shed tears, as if mourning their loss. It was as though Carolina was reacting to her surroundings, even while deep in slumber. Carolina's mysterious sleep was marked by events that she seemed to react to, even while enveloped in a deep slumber. A slumber that lasted almost 19 years. A sleep so profound and mysterious, it continues to puzzle us to this day. When Carolina finally awoke, she was not the same young girl she was when she fell asleep. The world had moved on, and so had Carolina, but in a drastically different way. The once vibrant and energetic young girl was now a woman of 46, trying to adjust to her new reality. She had physically aged, but mentally, she was still the girl from 1889. One of the first things Carolina noticed was a heightened sensitivity to light. Like someone emerging from a dark cave into the brightness of day, her eyes struggled to adjust. Every beam of sunlight, every flicker of a candle seemed too intense, too glaring. It took her some time to adapt to this new world of light. She also found it difficult to communicate. Words didn't roll off her tongue as easily as they used to. Imagine waking up and not being able to express your thoughts, your fears, your confusion. It's as if she was learning to speak all over again. Perhaps the most haunting aspect of her awakening was a recurring dream. Carolina spoke of seeing blue faces submerged in water, an eerie foreshadowing of the fate that befell her brothers, who tragically drowned during her long sleep. News of Carolina's awakening spread like wildfire. She became a strange kind of celebrity. a woman who had seemingly traveled through time in her sleep. But fame is a double-edged sword. Along with admiration came skepticism and accusations. People began to question the authenticity of her story. Was it all a lie, an elaborate hoax crafted by her family for attention or financial gain? The accusations stung, but Carolina held steadfast to her truth. She knew what she had experienced, and no amount of skepticism could change that. Carolina's story remains a mystery, a tale of a girl who lost her youth to a sleep so deep, she woke up to a world that had moved on without her. As we delve into the legacy she left behind, we can't help but wonder about the enigma that is Carolina Olson. Despite the controversy, Carolina's story has left a lasting impact. This tale of a century past remains a tantalizing enigma, equally intriguing and baffling. Carolina's seemingly impossible slumber has become more than a mere footnote in history. It has woven itself into the fabric of folklore, capturing imaginations and inspiring countless tales of the unexplained. Her story has also stirred the scientific and medical communities. Her case has been pored over by countless researchers, medical professionals, and scientists, all in a bid to unravel the mystery of her long sleep. It has prompted studies into sleep disorders, neurological conditions, and even the exploration of human consciousness. But perhaps most importantly, Carolina's story serves as a potent reminder of life's unfathomable mysteries and wonders. It underscores the fact that life, in all its complexity, still holds secrets that are yet to be discovered. The tale of Carolina Olson, the girl who slept for 19 years, continues to captivate us, reminding us of the mysteries and wonders that life holds.